Ladies and gents, welcome to this week's Top 5 Camps. How the devil are we all doing? It's a sunny day in Britain today, so I am bloody happy, I'm not going to lie to you. Now, as per usual, same as every other week, we're just going to go through all of the builds in no particular order, and then work out where everybody's placed at the end. So yeah, make sure you stick around for that. But yeah, anyway, let's crack on with it. And the first camp that I want to start with... Ooh, who should we start with? Let's go with this Cliffside masterpiece by Moonlight Cowboy. Simply lovely. What I liked about this one, amongst many things, was the location. This is on top of Seneca Rocks, and while it does give a really nice view of the entire map, it is a pain in the arse to build here. It's very tight, foundations have an habit of sticking out where you don't want them to. It can be a little bit tricky. So I like how Moon's actually decided to go out onto the side of the rocks rather than trying to build on top of it. It's a different approach, granted, but I think it's worked out well here. What I also think has worked out very well is how realistic this looks. And by that, I mean it's got supports underneath it, yeah? I know, it sounds like a little thing, right? But you can't tell me, especially if you played this game for bloody years, right, that you have not seen camps that are just held up by nothing. You know what I'm on about, don't you? Aye, the ones that are just slapped on the side of a cliff with absolutely no support on them whatsoever defying the laws of gravity. Aye, I don't like that. I really don't like it. So to see players like Moon spending that little bit extra time to make them look a little bit more structurally sound, I can appreciate it. I really can. So kudos to you for that, Moon. It's a body camp, this. It is a body camp. A little bit on the small side. Not a problem with that at all. But yeah, I think visually, you've done a cracking job with it, Moon. Now, onto your interior. It's your typical style, isn't it, mate? We've all seen Moonlight Cowboy's interiors. Clean, functional, and always put together with a decent level of care. Yeah, Moon, solid build for me, this. I really did like it. Again, it was more the location and how you've built the structure that stood out to me. But yeah, solid, really solid work. Thank you very much for entering this week, mate. So for camp number 2, something on the total opposite end of the spectrum from Moon's, we have the train station camp by Still Game. Right, okay. This one was... It wasn't one of my first choices initially. I'm not going to lie to you. However, the more that I looked at this, the more I appreciated just how much has actually gone into it and how realistic this build is. Let me explain a little bit more to you. Let's see what we can point out. The train station design itself, Still Game has followed the traditional design of the stations that are already in game. Nothing wrong with that. Makes it look more immersive, makes it look more lore friendly. However, I will say I've seen hundreds of stations built in this manner. What made it stand out for me was all the little details in it. So for example, look at how Still Game has put roof pieces floating as if they've fallen off the top of the train station due to age. Look at how well the junk is scattered around. The luggage, like a passenger's been ready to board. The bonds have dropped, shit themselves, ran off, left everything behind. Can you see what I mean? It's little things like that. It doesn't sound much when you put it all together, though. It really does give a sense of immersion. You can see some more when you step inside as well. Look, he's missed roof pieces off. There's bits of walls missing. It's not been over-decorated. It's decorated in the style of a train station. Yes, it may not be as technically, I don't know, technical, yeah, right, okay, whatever, as some of the other builds this week. But in terms of that lore-friendly style that I really do like, this one is up there. Awesome looking build, Still Game. I like what you've done with it. I like how true you've stayed to the game. More than worthy being in the top 5 this week. Thank you very much for entering, my friend. Right then, so for camp number 3, we have a new entrant to the competition, mate. It's MLB fan. MLB fan with the sunset glowing ghoul radiation cottage. Deep breath, that's a big title. You know what, I've just noticed how sporadic I actually talk sometimes. I'm like a chimp with a machine gun. But anyway, yes. The sunset glowing ghoul radiation cottage near Hemlock Springs Dump. This is one cool-ass looking camp. Obviously very lore friendly, very scrappy. Looks like it was thrown together by a wasteland dweller. And I like that kind of shit, as you all very well know. Now then, this camp is actually made up of a load of different items that have been put in here, but I'm not actually familiar with this location. Like some of the containers that are sunk down into water, is that a location? I'm still going over it again, trying to work out if anything's pre-existing or not. Why have I never seen this before? Anyway, it doesn't matter, yeah? If there's some pre-existing shit or not, the camp itself is pretty damn sick. I love the overall appearance of the place, and I like how it actually goes up into some form of... Well, it's kind of like a treehouse, isn't it? And the higher you go, the more detailed this actually becomes. There is a lot of stuff up here. That mustn't have been easy to get up. It really mustn't have been. Is that a water wheel in the sky as well? Am I tripping, or is that one of the water wheel power generators? Is it up in the sky? I think it is, you know, unless I'm very much mistaken, but I'm not sure how you achieve that. I'm sure you can only place them in water. Unless something's changed, I really don't know, but if it hasn't, I'm intrigued to know how you've done that. Please let me know down in comments if there is a trick to achieve that. Yeah. Odd, I've not seen that before. But water wheels aside, right, overall... Awesome looking build. I think MLB's knocked it out at part with this. I think the interior decor's really well done on it too. No complaints from me. I love how mad it is. I love how thrown together it is. Yeah, I think that's the best way of describing it. MLB, thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on whatever position you come in on your first ever entry. Nice job. Well done indeed. Camp number 4, we have Hagrid's hut by... Yeah, bear. You alright, Harry? Sorry. Wow. Yeah. Camp number 4, we have Hagrid's hut by Yeba. I mean, what can I say? I told you last week, Shed 79's Burrow build. I am a Harry Potter nerd. I see a build that's Harry Potter related. The chances are I am gonna like it, but it has to be good, yeah? Don't bother just sending me a picture of a floating broom as a camp submission. Chances are it will probably make it, to be fair, because I'd find it funny, but yes. Bear has executed this perfectly. Is it strictly a true replica to Hagrid's hut? I'd actually have to have a look back at that, because I don't think his hut were made out of stone, hence hut. Let me just have a quick look. Alright, okay, I stand corrected. It is indeed stone, at least in the movies. I'm pretty sure in the books it wasn't described. Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? It looks like what we see in the movies. And I can't really complain about it. The shape is there. You can tell what it is just by first glances. And it's got a pumpkin patch. Yeah, everybody loves a pumpkin patch. In terms of actually looking like Hagrid's hut from the outside, pretty much as close as you're going to get it. Let's have a look on the inside. Yeah, I mean, as close as you're going to get it to Hagrid's hut. I'm not seeing Fang, which is quite depressing, although I don't think you can get that breeder dog in the game. But what I am seeing, I'm seeing the bloody dragon eggs on the fire there. What was he called? Norbert or something like that, his bloody dragon that he had. That's a cool little touch. I like that, yeah, Bear. I'm just looking out for any more little things. Nothing's jumping out to me per se. But yeah, like I said, guys, Hagrid's hut is a gamekeeper's hut, and it's described as such in the books and whatnot. And from the little bits we see in the films, this is pretty close. It is Fallout, after all. You're not going to get it perfect. But yeah, I love this build. I like the theme of it. It's obviously quite a tricky one to put together as well. Not a simple build by any means. Oh yeah, fair play to you, mate. Thank you very much for entering this week, pal. Congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in. It's a clever one, this. I liked it. Okay then, so camp number 5, we have the Dilapidated Marsh Home by Widowbite. Okay, so there's a lot to take in with this one. It's a large camp. There's all kinds of things going down with it. My first impressions of this was, is it an in-game location? It is that well put together. It bloody fits in with the Fallout universe so well. It's a scrappy bugger, this one. But no, the more I actually look at it, that effect is given more by the items that are placed down, in my opinion, rather than the structures, at least in this part anyway. It's really, really well fleshed out. The placement of items is spot on with this. And I'm going to come out and say it. I get a lot of comments that are like, somebody's put down a load of shit. That isn't a camp. Anybody can do this. It's just not the case. It's not the case at all. There is a trick to it. There is an art to it. And Widowbite has smashed it with this, I've got to say. It looks bloody brilliant. And I love the billboard as well. Using that to build a treehouse out of effectively, very clever. Never seen it done before, and I think it looks bloody bob on. I like this camp. I really, really do like this camp. One of my favourites of the week, if not my favourite. It's just everything. It's from the little treehousey bit to how well all the junk's been placed down. And look at the interior decor. This thing is awesome. Widowbite, fair play to you, mate. Solid camp. You've knocked it out of the park with this one. Thank you very much for entering this week, my friend. So now we're on to camp number 6. Remember, guys, we have the top 5 camps, and then we have the 2 honourable mentions. I'm not sure what is an honourable mention yet, but we'll find out soon. This is the Ash Peak cabin build by Sir Spoon. Now, I've got to come out and say it, out of all the builds that we see in the top 5, this one is by no means one of the most complicated that I have ever stumbled across. However, yeah, it is nice to actually feature one, because I'm not going to lie to you, I think sometimes builds like this get lost in and amongst some of the more complicated stuff we see. I will hold my hand up to that. They can kind of get drowned out, if that makes any sense. But I just like this one, just because of how it's just a simple home. Now, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to build ever and it's just been thrown up in 5 minutes. No, there is a little bit of trickery to it. We've got some underpinnings. The roofs require liberal use of the Bernie Boy 12,000. There is a little something to it. But I like the simplicity of it, guys, for the most part. It's a gorgeous looking little build, this. Every now and again, less is more. Yeah, this is a perfect example of it. Exterior-wise, Sir Spoon, really pretty camp. Really pretty camp. The same can be said about the interior, really. It's not overly done. It's just done nice, and it fits in with the log cabin kind of theme. No complaints from me. No complaints. Like I say, is it the most awe-inspiring build I've ever seen? No. Is it the most technical? No. But it's cool. It's cool. It's refreshing for something like this to stand out to me. I'm not going to lie. Thank you very much for entering this week, my friend. Great job on this. Great job. Okay then, so for our 7th and final camp, we have the Cliffside Nook build by Silver Bunny. Yet another Hangy Boy 12,000 we got going on here. This is totally different to Moonso, whereas that was quite a clean and modern style. This is scrappy as shit. Totally on the opposite sides of the spectrum here, much like myself. Yeah, okay, so what did I like about this? Obviously, the location. Again, I like how it's slapped on the side of a cliff, but does have support underneath it. Realism, simply lovely. I'm a massive fan of the lighting. Silver Bunny's always good at lighting, and this one's no different. I like the contrast as well from, like, the cool colours over the top of that custom-made staircase to the more vibrant neon-y ones on the build itself. It's nice. Speaking, actually, of that custom staircase, hats off to you, mate. That is great. That is beautifully well done. Must have taken a while, that. Silver Bunny, gotta admit to you, I love this thing. I love the exterior. I know you think that I'm taking piss off at time when I comment on your builds, but no, genuinely, I love this. I've got nothing bad to say about it. Interior-wise as well, your usual high levels of decor. Again, can see you've spent a load of time on this. No complaints from me. Seriously, one of my favourite builds of the week, this one. You've knocked it out of the park. Great job. Great job. Silver Bunny, thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on whatever position you find yourself in, which is more than likely you're back knowing you. I'm sorry, it's been a while. I've not been able to take the piss out of you, so yeah, I had to get that one in there. Love you, really. Right, yes. Let's find out what position everybody is in. Okay then, so number 1 for me this week with a 10 out of 10, it's got to be Silver Bunny. Again, another well-executed camp in a tricky location that looked absolutely fabulous. Easily number 1 for me this week. Awesome camp in my opinion. Number 2 for me this week has got to be Widowbite. I love that build. I think the idea with the billboard was great. The way you place down the junk. Awesome camp in my opinion. Right, so from number 3 onwards, this is where it gets difficult. I'm going to give all of these 3 a rating of 9.5. You can put them wherever you want. It's entirely up to you. Let me know down in the comments. But me, personally, in the number 3 spot, I'm going to have to give it to Yeah Bear for the Hagrid's house build. It's very difficult making something from a different franchise work in 76. Like I said last week, it's also difficult making real-world builds look good in 76. I think Yeah Bear's pretty much nailed it. Not the simplest of builds to do. And yeah, in my opinion, it's a number 3. But like I said, you guys let me know down in the comments. Now, in the number 4 spot, again, with a 9.5, I'm going to put Moonlight Cowboy. Very, very, very tricky location to build in. Beautiful looking house. Well decorated on the inside. Yeah, easily number 4. Any other week could have been a lot higher than this. So yeah, number 4 for me. MC. Great build. I can't complain about it. I can't say anything bad about any of the builds. Tough week yet again. And with that leaves us with the number 5 spot. And it's going to be MLB Lover with their first ever entry. Really interesting camp. Probably deserves to be a little bit higher. But in my opinion, it's a 9.5. This is where it's going to sit in my ratings. Nothing wrong with it. A really solid first entry. And there is some shit in there, which I don't know how it's been done. So I could have missed a lot in this. Not going to lie to you. But that's, again, where you guys come in. You can let me know your thoughts and feelings below. The more, the better, really. Yeah, and with that leaves Sir Spoon and Still Game in the 2 honourable mention positions. Now, guys, just let me tell you. Now, yeah, any one of these builds deserves to be higher. Builds that have been entered deserve to be in the top 5. I could have done another top 10 this week, but we can't start going down that route. It starts getting silly. It's just getting very tough, the top 5 now. However, with that being said, if any of you guys watching want to try your hand at it, there's a link down in the description to my Discord. That's where all the submissions are done. It is heating up, though. It is getting tough. But we have had a lot of new entrants, so it's doable. It is more than doable to break into it, even with all the established builders. As ever, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that entered this week. It is much appreciated. And I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, at TNG76. If you want to go on Avaganders, then please feel free to do so. It's great. It really is great. Anyway, as I say in the north, I will love you and leave you, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.